Mwiriwe nongeye kubasuza mu izina rya Yesu nitwa Ngarambe Rita nkaba ndi kuri Go Live TV Toronto. Ushaka kudownloadinga app yabo muri App Store, ushaka no gukurikira ikiganiro cyanjye cyitwa The Cyper Show kuri YouTube kiba buri wa kane. Murakoze cyane kandi Imana ibahe umugisha.
Greetings to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us once again, live on Go Live TV, also on our YouTube channel, as well as on Facebook. My name is Rita Ngarambe. I'm your host for the Cyper Show, and today I have an incredible guest for you, as always. So grab your tea, grab your cup of tea, sit on the couch, whatever you feel comfortable, and join us as we go through this incredible conversation that I believe will leave you changed for the better. And today it's not just for the food of the brain or the mental brain, kind of, I don't know how to put it for you. So you gotta learn and see it's for your health in every way possible. And I'm welcoming Monique. Igor, thank you so much for making time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, how are you? How are you today?
I'm good. I had a busy morning, but it's settling down now. That's usually how it goes. Like busy morning, got a little break in the afternoon, and then we pick it up again in the evening. So just gearing up for that.
What do you do? What did you do this morning?
So I'm a personal trainer, right? Personal and group trainer. So this morning I had just back-to-back sessions. Since it's COVID, gyms are closed. Everything is virtual, so it's all over Zoom. So I went right from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Oh my God, talk about super women. Here you go. So when you said like you're a personal trainer, do you mind telling us like what organization, I mean the groups you work with, and also like, if you have a personal business that you're working with?
Yeah, like in terms of like clientele?
Yes.
Yeah, so for the most part, I work with beginners, which I love because they're in the learning stages. And I've always saw myself as a teacher. I actually used to want to be a teacher, funny enough. So I love the process of teaching people like the stages of getting into fitness and the fundamentals and all that. So majority of my clients are beginners, and I do take pride in having clients that I've been with actually for 3 to 4 years. Wow. So like they've built up that capacity now, and just watching them grow is super special.
It must be fulfilling to even see the change, because it's a physical change that takes place.
And they motivate me too, right? Like seeing how they progressed and changed over time. So I really enjoyed that. So I did start my own business back in 2018, like unofficially with my first mobile client, which is pretty much was word of mouth. So that's a huge thing in this industry I find is referrals. Once you are passionate and you learn and you're engaged, and that shows with clients, like they're gonna tell their family, they're gonna tell their friends. So like I've gotten referrals for families, like I've trained sisters, couples, and which is really awesome.
Wow, amazing. Yeah. That sounds like you're already creating a family within the way, like even creating your own career. It's incredible. So what do you say to the people who are lazy like me? Like you are a coach, which means like your work doesn't just end with one session. They have to have another client that coming up. How do you deal with that? Yeah. How do you manage it?
First of all, you're not lazy. That is an excuse as in itself. I feel like a lot of people say that because they don't know either where to start, what to do.
True.
Like I've used that excuse before in other areas of my life, and like you're not lazy. It's just a matter of finding how and when to take that first step. Right. In terms of tips, like I would say, don't wait. There's no perfect time. The first step's not going to be perfect. You're going to learn. You're going to have ups and downs along the way. It's just natural. That's what's going to happen. Absolutely hire a professional, and only just because it's the best bet. And people that have come to me, they've tried it on their own, right? They've gone through these paths and that, and then when they come to me, it's not only, I don't want to say it speeds up your process, but they're just like, like things start to click. Like things that they've maybe tried in the past that now is making more sense, or like they're finding a better way how to do it because they've just now gotten that guidance. Right?
Amazing. Yeah, so. Like that's really so much helpful, because I've tried starting like making a schedule for myself to see how I can practice and work out. But trust me, the more times I think about it, I'm like, I'll do it the next day. Oh, I did it last week. That's good enough. Yeah. But the commitment is something else. It's insane. So you say your background, you just started, like, when did you start being a fitness trainer?
So if we were to cycle back a little bit, so first of all, like right out of high school, I absolutely did not know what I wanted to do. Did not know what I wanted to do. I did go to college. I mean, my mom wanted me to go straight to college. So I was like, okay, let's figure this out. So I went. I did like a general program. Was not fulfilling for me at all. Like I realized like after high school, you have to really be engaged in what you're doing. I feel like that's the best way you're actually going to learn and retain what you're learning about. So yeah, that program wasn't for me. It was called, I mean, it's helpful for those who want to try a bunch of things, but I feel it's almost like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but still the courses I was doing wasn't really formulating anything. So ended up applying to business admin and community work because I had experience in that already. I was working with youth and kids, and like that's always been a passion of mine, helping communities that just needed the help and support. So I got into both, and I'm kid you not, I stopped going to class. Don't do what I do, but I stopped going to class because I'm like, okay, these two programs seem promising. Went for community work, loved it, don't regret it. Started working with youth again. Pretty much doing the same thing.
I mean, it turned out all right. So I guess they can do what you did.
No regrets, right? Anything you do, like no regrets. And then when I graduated from that program, I started working in a gym. And that's, again, like things started to click. I've been athletic all my life, like since pretty much 6 years old. After high school, I stopped playing sports and tried just like everyone else. So I was there. I tried to start working out myself because, I mean, growing up playing sports, you're not in the weight room, right? You're just like, you're on the field or the court or whatever it is. So in college now, I'm having to try to learn and figure out how to use the weights and stuff. We had like an intro in high school, but it wasn't a lot. So started doing that, started researching on my own, and then, again, back to where I started working in the gym. I just found myself asking all the questions. There's people I worked with that were already trainers. And you notice when you're more curious, again, and you want to learn more, like that's where like the passion started to stand out a bit more. Trainers came in and out of the gym, so I started asking them questions, and I found myself asking kind of like, how did you get there? Like, what was the actual like professional path, educational path that you took?
Some people won't even think like working out or being a coach is something that can be legit. Mostly if your mom paid for your college. You're gonna tell me about that. Like, how was she like? When did she react in any ways when you decided to pursue that path?
After I had graduated already.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, I think at one point she thought I was just confused. Like I was trying to figure it out. But obviously she's very supportive. And the minute, I think it's when she started to see that how inspired I was and motivated I was to kind of take this path now, then it was like the more support kind of came along the way, you know? So I ended up going back to school to study health and fitness promotion. And just again, I don't regret taking community work, love the program, love the people that I met. But it was different. It was a different experience because I was actually more engaged. I was like front of the class. Like I was like excited to learn and do it. So it definitely stood out a lot more, and I knew like this is what I think there's a
lot to learn from your story. It's inspiring in itself, like to not give up, to keep trying different things, and also to kind of get back to your first love. Because you said in your background you've been engaged into like the sports and athletic, and now it kind of catches up to you. So I'm glad that you found that path in the end, and I'm pretty sure your clientele are also excited as they are.
Yeah, it's honestly been amazing. And just like what you said, like I would say that to anybody, try as many things. Like I maybe took 2 paths. Some people take 5, and that's what it takes. Like don't stop until you find that thing that's actually going to drive you, because then you'll be successful, but the success will just come from, again, that passion and the want to learn more and get better, right?
Because I feel like once you love whatever you're doing, that's when you get the courage and the excitement and also the commitment too. Because if you tried it once and then left it there, it wouldn't have made itself work, you know?
Absolutely.
So more questions to come, but like I've had this stigma around like working out within the Black women community, which is why when I saw your work and everything you're doing, it's incredible. And I'm like, this person might be fierce. I love the courage and like the showing up. So as people who are mainly judged sometimes for our figures as women, we want to have the model type of kind of body, not the muscular muscles, mostly because Black women are most of the times judged for that. Have you encountered anything like that within your work?
Yes. Short answer, yes. But I love that you asked that, actually, because even I would say it's definitely comes down to genetics.
Right.
And not just like, okay, boom, you grow muscles, but in the way, like, you can't necessarily control the way your body is going to react to fitness. So that comes down to like when people say like body goals. It's amazing to have that inspiration, but at the end of the day, your body's different.
Right.
So working out, you can work out the same as this person, but you're still going to come out looking different because that's your body type, your genetics, or whatever it is. So like you were saying, for us in like the Black community, we tend to put on muscle pretty quickly.
Right.
True. And even if it's down specifically to your family too, like my family, we tend to put on muscle pretty quickly. Like so like broad shoulders, you got the broad shoulders, it runs in the family. I used to be, what's the word? I used to be a little... What's the word I'm looking for? I can't even find it right now. no, I don't want to say embarrassed. I'm not going for embarrassed, but like self-conscious. So I used to be a little self-conscious of, again, like the shoulders, because it was just natural. I can do like one little arm workout and I felt like I was like, boom, big. But that's because, again, there was that huge stigma around it, and people that you're around, like I've had people say like, oh, slow down, or like, you know, like watch out, you don't want to get too big. And I think that kind of is engraved in your mind.
Even like growing up in high school, they always like used to say women, oh, you look like Serena Williams. That was a terrible comment.
And they thought it was like a compliment, but then you took it some like a different way.
It's like even tough. The way they pass it on, like it's kind of really terrible. It makes you feel like, oh my God, I look like a man now. But growing up right now, it's then that I realized that she's actually incredible. She's an amazing, beautiful woman.
Right? So it's a process, but you have to, again, that comes down to just like self-love, and that's what a fitness journey is really great for. So I encourage, like, if you're getting into it, really just focus on you, like kind of cut all that external out. Again, it's great to have body goals, but cut all that external out in terms of expectations of what you feel like your body should look like, and just enjoy the process and kind of you learn your body. Right, at the end of the day. So like now I'm like, I can honestly say I'm fully confident in it.
Absolutely.
I've still gotten the comments recently. Like I've got a comment like that maybe like last year, and I kind of, first like it stung a bit because it's just like that initial reaction kind of
like
place where it goes in your mind.
What you already had in mind
but
somewhere.
then it's like now it's like a quick brush off, like okay, like it's just ignorance, right? They just don't know. So
absolutely,
like, it doesn't affect me anymore, right? So
absolutely, and like that's the body, like literally that's my body goals. Not looking like the little figures and everything. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but embracing who we are and what, like you said, it's genetics, so you can't change that in any ways. So maybe another question will be, do you have like when you encounter clients, like do you see some people are shy about it and who don't want to sign up because of also that mentality where they don't know that it's within your health alignment, so it's not really about your physical body?
Absolutely, I feel it's women in general. I've gotten clients where like they say that like I don't want to look manly, or I don't want to build too much. Or like the big word toned is very popular, and which again, it's you don't know what you don't know, right? Tone is essentially putting on muscle. So they're like, okay, we're gonna focus on building muscle, and they're like, whoa, no, I don't want to do that. But yes, you do. That's the look you're going for. You want to build muscle. That gives you that toned look. So it's really just the education and process. That's why I say, like, I get people that are beginners, they don't know much, and it's the learning, and like they adapt, and then again, just like how I did, they learn how it works.
That
and they
clicks
get
a
more
lot, even like knowing that gym is not just about carrying the weight. There is an actual process of learning that.
Exactly. So
what are the main words you say to them?
I kind of just like what I just said, I just reassure kind of what they're actually asking for and like what their goals are. Like in order to get that look, you want to build more muscle, lose body fat, so it goes hand in hand. And then as we growing through, so there's like phases in training that you go through that have like maybe a specific goal. Like one phase will specifically be muscle building, and just explaining kind of what we're doing along the way so they can come. So, because there's some phases where you may lift heavier, they may not want to do that, but you have to explain kind of like the purpose, what purpose it's serving in their program. So just again, like teaching them as they're going, not just like, boom, we're doing this, like why we're doing this kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Right?
I love that. Like why you're doing something, because it will change the whole mentality and will make them not feel terrible about it. That's incredible. And maybe before we take a break, then another question will be, within the, like you creating clients, like how do you make an approach to that? Like, do you just look at people and select? Like, how does that work? What is the process?
How do I gain clients? I can honestly say for the most part, it's been word of mouth. And I've worked at a studio, so clients come in, and the studio operations, they kind of suit you based on your expertise. Like every trainer kind of has their own level of like what they focus on for the most part, or their style, I should say, and then based on personality. On the outside of that, I was saying like I've trained a sister who told her sister started training her. I've had a wife who told her husband started training him, training them together. So word of mouth, I think, is huge. And then something I was not comfortable with at first, but definitely social media. It is like, it's your business card for the most part, depending on like what industry you're in or what you want to do with it. So I've had people just seeing like, once I started being more authentically me on Instagram, as I started learning more kind of what my values are as a trainer and what I stand for.
You?
So I mean,
elaborate on that.
No, so here's the thing. I literally just had this conversation on, I think it was like Monday, with another coach that was like about to start stepping into the game. Is it's easy to get caught up in what
Oh my
social
God, I
media
love where
is
this
with the
is
fitness.
going.
Right? Like you're excited at what social media is, especially in the fitness industry. There's the best word for it is like the hype.
Yeah.
You kind of feed into that, be like, oh, like posting these exciting videos because that's what's gonna get attention. That's what's gonna do that. I mean, I started doing that, but then it didn't last too long because at the end of the day, I realized I'm like, that's not really me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like it's fun, and I may still do it here and there, although I don't think I have in a while. But I started posting more of like what I do, and sometimes it's just like regular strength training, like doing your main movements. Some people literally deem that quote unquote boring,
Right.
but I just started posting more of it anyway. And then as I started learning more, so the more I started learning with mentors alongside, I think that's huge to have mentors as you're learning. The more I started learning about training, I started to find myself more as a trainer in terms of, again, like the values and what I believed in. So I just started, the more I learned, I started getting comfortable with then making content on that. And my thing is what I always tell people, well, those that I've done, not everyone, I don't talk to everybody,
but
but
you're telling everybody,
those
the
that,
world
those that like
listen.
I have a conversation with is be you, post what you want, post what you believe in, and your audience will organically come to you. So like the people that I've gotten and the people that have approached me see like, oh, I like what she's doing. I'm going to hit her up. I'm going to message her and reach out.
I think that's key because in the end of the day, you want to show something that you can keep up with. Because you want to be providing that over and over again.
Exactly. So it's like doing one thing, someone's coming to you and be like, yeah, I actually don't provide that. I actually don't do that, right? It doesn't make sense. So kind of staying true to that.
It's a false advertisement.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
but when you do, I've seen some of your videos, they're incredible. But when you talk about like, did you see more people like reaching out to you when you showed your authentic self, the workouts that you do, something that you're able to provide on a day-to-day basis? Yeah,
actually, yeah. I started, and then it's funny because when I was doing, when I was trying to just like post whatever before, I wasn't getting anybody reaching out. So it's crazy to think that like, oh, I thought this was going to be like boring or like no one wants to know this or no one wants to hear about this. But the minute I started doing it, I started getting more people like actually reaching out and asking or even just like following and commenting. Some people just following and saving because I know not everyone wants to throw a comment out there, but they're still learning, and that's like a huge thing. So again, just be you.
That's a huge thing. You're dropping some like lots of wisdom in here, and I feel like everything you're saying is applicable. I like to see things not just in one particular way, but in different areas of life.
Absolutely.
Like knowing that when you can be authentic, like some people will start noticing you, and even the ones that you want are the ones who are going to end up noticing what you're doing and the work you're doing. It's incredible.
Exactly.
And so we're going to be taking a break. We'll take 5, and we'll be back with you guys. Thank you so much, and stay with us on Go Live TV. Yeah, we'll be right back.
This is our family.
This is our life.
And we are Leuna.
Sir, I think it's time. We've got a solution.
We don't have to hide it anymore. The world needs to know.
So what are we going to do about it, gentlemen?
I've made a decision. We go live.
Hello, welcome back to the Cyper show with your host, Ngarambe Rita Lawrence, and I'm still with my guest, Monique. Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us.
Amazing, thank you. It's been great.
Yeah, maybe I want to ask you more questions about your past work. You said that you worked with the youth, and do you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah, so that would have been back in high school. One of my first jobs was working with, you guys are probably familiar with Boys and Girls Club.
Yes.
So that was, I started there as a youth. So that's how it actually started. I started there as a youth, and then I just always liked the environment. It was always like good vibes, the community of it all. And that's something that's been engraved in me from then, is just like that sense of community, like-minded individuals,
And maybe
people that are
to
like
people
you.
People who don't know the Boys and Girls Club, do you mind like telling them what that is? And
Yeah, so that is a community organization. You'll find them mostly in low-income neighborhoods because it is a program with little to no fees. Maybe if they do like field trips or stuff like that. So it's an after-school program throughout the school year, and then it's a summer camp program throughout the summer. So it's like all year round, you always have access to it.
Right.
And they have so many locations. So you can probably definitely find one near you. And yeah, it's just a program where there's leaders. Again, during the school, they focus on like helping with schoolwork, but then there's also like the health aspect. So I've worked out in Peel, which is like Mississauga, Brampton, throughout high school. And then when I graduated from the community worker program at George Brown, I ended up working in East Scarborough. So like I kind of saw both
Like in
ends.
between.
Very similar though, standard.
Would you say that sparked anything within like the career that you're in right now, the journey you're pursuing?
I always knew no matter what I do, I wanted to help people.
Ooh,
So like they go
that.
very hand in hand in that aspect. If you think about it, like when I was working with the kids and youth, it was helping the communities, helping the families, giving the kids just like confidence. Because again, there's like bullying and program. Like I've seen situations, there's bullying and programs like that. So kind of just being that guide, that friend, that support for kids. Even so, this was ages 6 through to 12 that we worked with, right? So you get a big array of kids. Some are more outgoing, some are more shy. But I just know I want to help people. So just building that, and then that what also reassured my wanting to teach and teach, because like you're teaching them. I did one program when I worked with. When I was in the community worker program at George Brown, we had to do a placement. So I ended up working with this program. Unfortunately, it's not in operations anymore because they didn't get funding. That's the whole thing when it comes to like nonprofits, right?
I'm still fighting.
Super
I'm gonna
sad.
fight with that. From the people, the funds for Black communities.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough, but it was a really great program. Redemption Reintegration Services, known as RRS, and it basically helped youth that have been like in the past maybe incarcerated or just had charges, and because of that they couldn't really get work, they couldn't get education, like they've been expelled and couldn't get back into school. So this program helped them get credits, it helped them build like life skills, business skills, and all that. So I did my placement there and absolutely loved it. And I think it's just really, you go into situations like that and you just see kids and youth that aren't given a chance.
Oh, wow.
And it's like when you give them a chance, you see a different side of them. And I loved that. There was one, I'm about to cry.
No.
Okay, but I won't. But there was this one
I love
experience,
that.
like for example, like there was a young boy, 21 years old. We helped resume building. And there's certain things that you pick up like in high school programs, and just like my mom's good with writing. So I think that's just something that's been passed on through me. So like learning certain things, I just picked up on that. So like I took pride in like I was pretty good at like writing resumes and building them just because I had the experience and I've been taught like to the T from people over the years, right? So I helped him build a resume. He got his first job. I will never forget the time he sent me that email. He was like exploding with gratitude and like stuff like that. I was like, wow, like that's confirmation that you're doing work, like you're doing the good work that you want to do. And then so that's why I said like I never will regret the path that I took, because it's helped me grow, build. It's built on skills that I now can take and use now in the career that I'm doing, because I'm still helping people.
Absolutely,
and at the end of the day, it's not just fitness. Like you're with people for an hour, multiple times a week.
And how is that though? Like how is the emotional part of that? Maybe just like just take a little bit there.
Yes, yeah, you're gonna hit a trigger right there. But it's good. I was gonna say it's good and bad, but it's not bad. It's tough sometimes because again, you get very, like I said, I've been with people for 3 to 4 years, so it's hard not to get involved emotionally. I hear stories, difficulties. They vent to you. They pour they out to you. They get like real serious with you, and it's just one. I tried to be like just objective. I'm not like taking sides or anything. I definitely be like state my opinion, but I also always try to do it from a point of support.
Right.
But it's hard because it's stuff that like even after the hour, like I'm still thinking about, because I'm like, wow, that was deep. Like that was deep.
They add on
because I care about them, right? Like, I've been with them for a while. We've built that relationship, which is something that I really like I won't ever take for granted. Like
Yeah,
that's
because
something
even
that's
for
very
someone to
cherished.
feel comfortable to share whatever they're going through, they gotta have some kind of
Exactly.
trust for you. And it's
Exactly.
amazing. I gotta give it to you as a
Yeah.
coach and as
Thank
a person
you.
because it's a lot. It's more like it's another form of therapy, they say. So
Exactly.
you're doing that work. it is.
Exactly. And it's so funny because along the lines of me not knowing what I wanted to do growing up, there's so many things that I wanted to do. Guidance counselor was one of them. Not physiotherapist, sorry. Psychologist was one of them. So I feel like
wanna
all
do
those things that I
psychology.
wanted to do, I'm also kind of wearing all those hats like within what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah. So like I
Absolutely.
find there's a reason why I want to do this, but now I'm kind of doing something that almost encompasses like everything.
It
which
is.
crazy.
I love that. Like, I
Yeah.
love how like life takes you in this really particular like stage in life where
Yeah.
everything kind of falls into place. It's amazing.
Exactly, on its own, right?
Yeah. So maybe even as we close off, tell me like one little. So I'm gonna ask you like several advices.
Mm-hmm.
One thing you would tell to your younger self. Maybe then I'll ask you as you go. Maybe as after you answer.
So many things I can think of. No. I would say, and I actually tell myself this on the regular, is be patient. There's no direct path that you're supposed to take. So be patient. Try as many things as you want until you find that path that is going to give you that light, give you that joy to want to continue. You're going to have ups and downs. It's going to be hard. You're going to come across things that might not sit well with you. You're going to have to kind of navigate them, but figure it out. Ask for help. That's something that I used to be very bad at. Don't be afraid to ask for help, right? I had to kind of grow out of the pride of it
The
all.
independence,
And everything's
yeah.
going to be okay.
Wow, amazing. I love that. Every little thing is going to be all right. I
Yes.
think that's the song.
Yes.
And then maybe another question will be, what's your advice to any young black girl, little black girl out there, or even a black woman from whatever age they are in, like about believing and having that confidence within their body types?
Yeah. I think it comes from one, spending time to really learn yourself. Like I mentioned before, is stop looking outward for validation, right? Don't look to people, maybe the compliments and kind of what society portrays as what's beautiful, because we've definitely been hit hard with like those kind of societal pressures or just what's the norm. But again, just learn to love yourself, and that comes with that. Honestly, I believe that comes with learning yourself. Kind of again, finding your passion, finding what you're good at, finding what drives you. And affirming, like telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're worth it, that you're enough because you are.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Thank you so much. And then a message you might tell your clientele, and also one message you might tell anyone who wants to sign up to be one of your clients.
Yeah, I would say keep working. Again, the journey it has its ups and downs, and I know my clients have seen that. It's not always going to be easy. Some days are going to be a lot harder than others, but what they say is focus more on the process and not the outcome. Wow. So kind of be present in what we're doing and learning and growing, and you'll get there. But again, there's no real destination, right? We're doing this for life. Like we're trying to build lifestyles, and that's
we're
what
doing
I'll say
this
to
for
anyone.
life. I'm writing
That's
that somewhere in my head.
That's what it is, right? It's like, and that's what people need to start to think about more, is that it's a lifestyle. Once you build that, it does become easier, for lack of better words. Again, I don't want to paint the picture that it's easy, but it becomes more natural. So
amazing. And then for the people who want to sign up to be your clients,
yeah, I mean, I'm here. So let me know. You can find me on Instagram at Monique Eagle Training. And things are about to change and kind of get growing a bit, but I always will answer any questions. Like even if it's not, I want to train with you right now, like you can message me anytime, and I'm always open to just any questions about anything, like anything that you're kind of struggling with or trying to still decide, or just starting your fitness journey, you want that advice, slide into the DMs.
Amazing.
I got you.
So guys, reach out to Monique Eagle. That's her Instagram handle. We'll be attaching all her social medias on this video. And thank you so much for following us today. It's every Thursday at 3 p.m. on Go Live TV. Download the TV app. Also follow us on our YouTube channel as well as on our Instagram page under the Cyper Show. Thank you, and see you next time.